Everton 2, Liverpool 2, the final Merseyside derby at Goodison Park. What a dramatic game of football that was. Absolutely ridiculous. 130 years of history of that fixture being played at Goodison Park. And there's going to be so much controversy, maybe the most refereeing controversy we've ever seen in this fixture in 130 years. Tarkowski's strike making it 2-2. We're going to break down what it means for Liverpool. I thought they were good in large parts of this game, but I think it's just the drama of a derby, the drama of David Moyes' side, the physicality that they bring. They're always going to create havoc in the box in the final few minutes. We're going to sort of analyse what 7 points means for Liverpool in the title race, and obviously Everton as well. A massive round of applause to Everton. I thought they were fantastic today. They've definitely had a big upturn in form since David Moyes has come in. People question that, by the way. People question if they'd get relegated with David Moyes, which I thought was an outstandingly crazy thing to say. You could see the bounce. You could see even the fans getting on board with it. I think fans were so apathetic to Sean Dyche, and Goodison Park absolutely bouncing. As soon as the game kicked off, really, I thought Liverpool struggled in the first 10 minutes to really get their foot on the ball. Lots of fouls. Everton doing very, very well to break up the game. Little pushes on Konate, little pushes on Van Dijk, McAllister, Szoboszlai. Beto was getting about people and making big challenges. But it was a Liverpool challenge on Ndiaye that gives Everton a free kick 11 minutes in. And it's Jared Branthwaite who plays an unbelievable ball. And I'm not just saying this, but while I was watching it on the TV, I knew that ball was on. There was so much space. There was so much space. But it takes so much technical brilliance from Jared Branthwaite to play that ball a little bit dead weight. So as it arrives to Beto, he can bend his run and bend it past Alisson underneath his elbow. It was an unbelievable strike, really, from Beto, who's obviously had some recent good form against Leicester City. Apart from that, I mean, it was like 1 goal in 14, I think, before that as well for Beto. So to score in this game is probably the biggest goal of his Everton career. Obviously, when you scored that early against Liverpool, you wake up a sleeping giant. And Liverpool, they turned on the gas. Their midfield, I thought, was fantastic. Salah was getting on the ball, looking dangerous. Diaz as well. But Everton, I mean, you just have to give them credit. Going and taking the lead against Liverpool so early on with a bit of ingenuity, not just lumping it in the box. It was a brilliant goal. But they didn't really hold on to it, did they? They didn't really test Liverpool for long enough at a 1-0 lead. It's not easy, of course not, but Liverpool woke up and Alexis McAllister scored a great little header. Salah, the ball from Salah, absolutely outrageous. I mean, Mykolenko has to be a lot closer. He has to be a lot more in demand of trying to tackle Salah, demanding the ball off him, pressing the ball off of him, being intense, and he wasn't doing that. He gave Salah 5 yards, 3 or 4 yards, way too far, and Salah gets that ball in. It's a great ball, float in there, and McAllister just gets his header away. I don't think Pickford has too many complaints. I really don't. The commentators at the time slagging him off, saying that he should have been saving that. Lee Dixon, I think it was, slagging him off, saying that an England international should be saving that. Not for me. I thought it was just, he was so close to the goal, McAllister, that any movement, Pickford can't dive before the header is struck. And I think Pickford just couldn't save it. It was just such a well-placed header. Good pace from Salah as well from the ball. I don't think any complaints for Pickford, in my opinion. Maybe it's just the defending. How can the shortest guy on the pitch basically get in between the two centre-backs? That would be the issue if you're an Evertonian, in my opinion. But let me know in the comments down below. I have to talk about Ndiaye's injury. I thought Ndiaye was absolutely fantastic for 30 minutes. And I think it's really interesting, Ndiaye going down. He picked up a big tackle. It was a bit sad, really. He started sort of crying. He was in tears, which I think is on some bittersweet moment. It is kind of nice seeing that because it says so much about the weight of the fixture, the final game of this kind at Goodison Park, that someone like Ndiaye, who's only just come into the Premier League, don't forget, cares so much about not only Everton, of course. You could see it on his face that he wanted to play this game and influence the game and play in a historic game. That's what I was reading from it anyway, that when he gets taken off for Harrison, he was distraught, which on some level, it was like, yeah, these guys have got feelings. These guys care massively. And it was just a little human moment that I thought was quite interesting. You usually see just players trudge off. They get substituted. But he really wanted to be there. He cared. He wanted to play against Liverpool in the final Goodison Park, Merseyside derby. I thought it was interesting. And Ndiaye was fantastic. And as soon as he comes back, Everton will be a whole different side. Make no bones about it. Second half, Mohamed Salah. gets another goal in the Premier League. I mean, we're talking close to 45 goals and assists this season, and we're still a bit of a third of the way towards the end of the season. I mean, it's absolutely outrageous. It's a great little strike. Pickford here absolutely has to do better. He rebounds off the shot and he rebounds it. Salah does fantastically well to bury it, and at 2-1, I thought Liverpool were just going to cruise to victory. They were keeping the ball in the final 20 minutes, dominating things. Yes, there were some swinging balls from Everton, nothing really landing. Then out of nowhere, Mykolenko just lobs this ball into the box. Kanate, I think it was, doesn't deal with the ball, and it lands at Tarkowski, who does this kind of Phil Jagielka volley. Obviously, that happened at Anfield. This kind of unbelievable volley into the roof of the net. I couldn't believe it. It was the strike of the highest quality. The celebrations from the Everton fans deserved to be euphoric, instantaneous, and with no idea of it being delayed. There should have been no pause. It should have been complete ecstasy. It should have been the beautiful end to a Merseyside derby at Goodison Park. It should have been the crescendo of a historic ground, one of the great grounds in English football. And it wasn't, because Michael Oliver obviously had to intervene. VAR had to check it. The linesman isn't allowed to make a call. And there was a 3-minute check on what could have been the most iconic way to end a historic stadium at its derby ever in Premier League history. The delay was an absolute disgrace to football. VAR is an absolute atrocity. It needs to be killed out of the game. It needs to be removed. It's destroying euphoria. It's destroying natural reaction to celebrate. Isn't that the point of football? I mean, it's absolutely disgraceful, and I think it's been highlighted so perfectly. We had a moment last night in the Champions League, which was an absolute disgrace from VAR. So it's not better in Europe. People have been saying that. In the Premier League, Michael Oliver has got the power to award the ability to celebrate an iconic goal. Football fans pay hundreds of pounds to watch their team, their players. Some of them they've nurtured themselves from academy products they've watched for 15 years of their lives, to celebrate those moments, not to celebrate if Michael Oliver allows you to celebrate. It's an absolute disgrace. It's an absolute abstraction of what football is all about. And it's getting worse. If it was getting slightly better, honestly, I wouldn't be moaning about it. And it's a shame I have to do it on this channel. Maybe it doesn't resonate on YouTube with audiences. I don't know. But I have to just say it from my perspective. It's an absolute abomination to football. It's everything wrong with the sport. Tarkowski scored a perfectly good goal. I don't think there's much reason to check it. If you look back, no offside really. I know it's marginal, but I think if the linesman doesn't clearly see it, you just have to get on with it. That's what football's all about. It's a real shame that you have to moan at the end of a video like this, because I thought the game was exciting, enthralling. Let's just talk about Liverpool. 7 points clear. I think if you ask any Liverpool fan at the start of the season, 7 points clear ahead of Arsenal, not Man City, with Haaland, De Bruyne, etc., with Rodri, if you were saying at the start of the season. But Arsenal with no Havertz, no Sterling against Chelsea in the next few weeks, no Saka. I think you'd bite the hand off if someone offered you that, if you're a Liverpool fan. And the Champions League and the League Cup final. Plymouth, I think, is a long, long way away already. I think this Liverpool side now realise, got the international break coming up as well, commanding position to just churn over results. A derby result, ultimately, a 2-2 draw could happen to the greatest Liverpool side of all time, or the worst. It's not rational derby results. 2-2, I think, reflects the balance where Everton created their chances fantastically well. Only 3 big chances really for Everton in this game. And 2 of them were very, very well taken from Beto, from Tarkowski. But the story has to just go back almost to Mohamed Salah. I mean, we're talking about a guy who's the best player in world football. I look at Vinicius, I look at Mbappe, I look at Yamal. They're all very close. Of course they are. Harry Kane still doing unbelievable things in Germany. Haaland isn't at the level this season despite a brace against Real Madrid. Rodri, injured. I think he's the best player by a country mile in European football. I really do. I mean, everything he does is dangerous. I think he's almost beginning to realise when he can turn off the gas and just rest, because I think he's going deep into games at his age, which is crazy, at a level and an intensity which is scary. And I just think Salah is that is the difference. I think if Salah was injured, If it was Salah and Saka injured, I'd back this Arsenal side, their structure, their experience to get a little bit closer. But I feel like Salah could score in every single game from now to the end of the season. And that gives you a crazy bonus, Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new.